So, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite now our host, none other than Mr. Anthony Wainaina. He is the managing director for Ponty Pridd Holdings. They always go out of their way to push the plate a little further, push to the cutting edge and set a standard, be above the rest, and do some really great stuff. We walked with him all the way, not with him, we drove all the way to Kajiado, deep into Kajiado, and planted over, was it 25,000 trees? Yeah, not that many, quite a number of trees. And we headed towards, no, it was 100,000 trees, my friend. Yes, we headed towards 1 million trees within the next 5 years. So I think that's a really exciting time. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Anthony Wainaina.
Good afternoon, everybody. I was given a protocol paper to follow. I think I forgot it. So I will appreciate all of you for coming. And let me just say, when you don't know how to follow protocol, you say all protocols observed. Okay? I feel like a preacher standing here in a big church talking to all these people, which is always a good thing. First of all, we want to thank you for finding time to come and join us in this initiative. As a business, we believe in a few things. One of them is that we need to be a responsible corporate citizen. And that's why some time back we started on a journey of 1 million trees by 2025. Because as a business, we want to be carbon neutral by 2025 in terms of how much we emit into the atmosphere and how much we can sink in trees, and even how much we can reduce that figure. Our next biggest initiative, and that's why we're here, is about inclusive. We want to have equitable, inclusive, and diverse workforce. I think you all agree with me that once you have a diverse, inclusive workforce, then you are more resilient, you are more productive, you create some balance, and we believe that then we give people a chance to succeed. The logistics industry is generally male-dominated. So it becomes, if you go to maybe and look some records like from NYS and say how many people trained as drivers, for example. If you get 100 female who trained as drivers and try to follow them through and say how many of them are practicing, how many of them are doing what they were trained to do in school, you'll find out of 100, if you get 20, you'll be lucky. So what happens then? How can they go get these life skills and then they're not able to practice? And this is because sometimes, the opportunities do not arise. You get a highly dominated industry, and people are not sensitive about what they need to do for their female colleagues. And just then you find that maybe there is no real acceptability in that regard. So what we feel as a business, we want to start the conversation of how do we get more women in logistics, because that is where we are. How do we ensure that we have more of our sisters coming in to join us in this journey of in logistics? And as they say, what a man can do, a woman can do better. And what a man can do, a woman did a long time ago. Yeah? So, in terms, so we feel that, and if you look at your history anyway, if you think I'm lying, if you come from the Kikuyu community, Wango wa Makeri was there before, yeah? And they did everything they could. So we are just following on those footsteps as men. So coming back to, so when we are thinking about this program, then we had to think about what are the qualities of a woman. And I think we are saying she believes, she what? She belongs, she moves, she delivers. So say, what are the qualities of a woman? And we think that a woman belongs. When you go to the village, a woman belongs to a home. They create a home. They belong to the community. They belong to chamas. So that belonging is a skill, is a key quality in our women. Women move, okay? If you go to a wedding, they move in dance, okay? They move with their chamas. They move with everything else. And finally, I think women deliver. We know that. Yeah? If you come to the village again, who was delivering water from the wells, who was delivering firewood, and of course, they deliver beautiful babies. So when we look at all that, then we found that she belongs, she moves, she delivers, kind of sat very well in the key qualities of our sisters. And I think we want to say that the women, they belong. They belong to this industry. They belong to the logistics industry. They have a space in the logistics industry to play and in the whole supply chain. So we want to kind of start that conversation saying, once you see a woman in the industry, don't look at her, what are you doing here? She belongs. She's in her rightful place. The first time we got our lady driver to drive a big truck and went to Kenya breweries, it became a story. Oh, have you seen? Have you seen? Have you seen? So we want to reduce that and say, she belongs, okay? It's her industry, yeah? She belongs. She moves. We feel that the career woman today, she's on the move. She's in the move in terms of embracing technology. She's in the move in terms of understanding what's happening around her. She's the move of understanding her environment and really upping her skills to really play better. So she moves is kind of just emphasizes that. And of course, she delivers. In the industry, so she will deliver your products in full. You ensure that if you give her your load, then she will deliver it. So then we feel that in terms of those three aspects, then that's what has informed our campaign in this journey. And I have to say that we are not doing what do you call it? A PR. So we come here, we say, oh, she delivers, she moves, and after that we take pictures and everybody's happy, and then we go home. This is a journey, and it's a journey that we have committed. It's a journey that we want to walk, and they say that talking about diverse communities, diverse and inclusion, the talk can never give you that. There has to be intent and there has to be action. So as a business, our intentions are very clear, and our action in terms of going forward is also quite clear, and that's the journey we want to walk. So we are looking at about 3 years journey in terms of this program, and we hope that we will just be a voice, and other people will come in and amplify that voice. And if that then happens, everybody then would join us in terms of amplifying the voice. So how do we see this happening? So I think it's just important to take you through our thinking, and within our partners, of course, the thinking, and as we come together, we can polish it better. But what we've done quite purposely, with a lot of intention, is to come and say, how do we get women in logistics? How do we encourage women to drive big lorries, small lorries, be in the IT industry, in logistics, be in the supply chain, and that kind of thing? So we came up and decided let us look at it from end to end. So the first thing we are doing, or we want to do, is we have entered into a partnership or MOU with NYS. So what we have asked NYS is that every 6 months, can we get 25 female drivers, mechanics coming out of their school. Out of these 25, then they'll come in to go a 6 months program in Ponty. And again, we've also gone to Kenyatta University, and I said, can we work with you? Can we get maybe another 5 female students in the area of business, in the area of IT, and the area of supply and logistics? Then the 5, they come in, so we have about 30 interns every 6 months. And we are having what we are saying a paid internship program here. Now, what then we have purpose to do is saying, how do we take these interns into a 6 months program that allows them to be holistic women in the sector? So they will be holistic, they will be able to perform, we give them skill sets that makes them succeed. So we teach them about business skills, we teach them about what they were taught about driving and defensive driving and everything else, if you're a mechanic and whatever it is. We teach them about, I forget a few of these things. We have a whole curriculum, management skills, and how to run a small business. So we then believe that after 6 months of being in Ponty, we will retain 10% of that group, and we will give them work within the Ponty ecosystem. Then the rest, we want to put them in a portal to come and ask other transporters, other people in the logistics industry to come and say, if you want well-trained people, if you want women in logistics who have gone through an intensive program, you can find them here with their CV and everything else. And then we take another 30 after 6 months, and it goes that way. And we continue that way. So after reaching there, we said, okay, what after they have been here, 6 months internship, worked for 1 year, or 1.5 years, or 2 years, what then? Then we thought, can we think further? So we started talking to our good friends in NCBA. We talked to my friend Rita in Isuzu and said, could we sit down and figure out how we can finance? So after you've done your 6 months and 1 year driving, for example, and I'm using driving as the simple one, could you then access credit, asset financing to own a vehicle and come and continue doing what you are doing with us, and then you become a driver owner, because then that empowers you more. And that discussion, I think, is going on very well with NCBA and Isuzu to come and say, then how do we get you to be financed, because then you've gone through a process. And then we feel, so then again, Ponty then comes and says, how do we ensure that the bank, I know the bank, they don't take too much of a risk, so we try to understand them. So we say, we can commit as Ponty that once you give these women a vehicle, then we commit that we will give them work inside Ponty, so that they have work to continue, so that they can pay for their vehicle. So in that way, we feel then in 3 years, in 4 years, the efforts we do right now is not lip service, but it's a well thought up strategy that really delivers in terms of what we want to do. And I think that's where we are in our thinking. And we feel it's an exciting journey for us. We feel that it's a conversation we want to have with industry, with government, and that's why we had actually purposely invited the PS for transport, because then we come and say, what are the issues that hold back women from driving trucks, especially if they're going for long distance, okay? And also then we thought that my good friend Mary, we will talk to her nicely and say, the women we are bringing to logistics, please allow them to drive without fear of being arrested or stopped for small things, because you are a friend and you are part of this journey. So I think I try to explain where we are coming from and the journey we want to walk, and we want to partner with all of you. We want to look at government, we want to look at industry players and say, how do we make this idea bigger? How do we grow this to a national conversation? And I think when we achieve there, then we'll have done a beautiful thing. With those very, very many remarks, and I'm sure the project team must think there are a few things I forgot. If I did, I blame my age. As you age, your brain does not have enough capacity to hold so much data. So I've given what I could. But I thank you again once more. Feel welcome. They say rain is a blessing. And I think this just shows that this initiative will germinate, will grow, and will be something that one day we'll look back and say, we were, when it was being started, we were there. Okay? And that is very, very important. Asanteni sana, Mungu wabariki, na tuendelee hivyo hivyo.
Asante, just leave that mic there. Thank you, yes, there. So, round of applause once again for Ponty Pridd and, of course, the Managing Director, Mr. Wainaina. Thank you very much. Asante sana. So now we want to talk briefly, we want to hear very briefly from the industry, from the partners in the industry. I think we do have Eric Kiniti from EABL. Am I right? Is he here? Eric Kiniti? Oh, the representative. There's a representative from EABL, and they will give a few words because they are, I believe, one of your biggest partners in your business. And then, of course, we shall have another short word from Madam Marina. So I'd like a representative from EABL. Oh, Marianne, you. Karibu, karibu san. Round of applause. Give her a round of applause, and she will speak on the microphone up there. Yes, just go ahead. Feel free. Asante sana.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Speaking in front here is not easy. All protocols observed. My name is Marianne Deru, and I'm from East African Breweries, and I work there as a sustainability manager. I wanted to say that it is very true what people say about women being excellent drivers. And in fact, I've had my car for 9 years, and I can tell you there are so many people who have asked me whether they want me to sell it to them. They say, gari ya mama in our side, ni gari mzuri, sindio? Yes, and those who are not smiling, smile there at the back. Thank you. So let me tell you about this wonderful organization that has been there for 100 years. Isn't that sustainability? An organization that contributes 110 billion shillings to the exchequer, that contributes obviously to the roads that you're driving on. Sindio? Wow. And thank you very much, Bwana Anthony Wainaina, for that elaborate speech. What you said is very true. In fact, after the Africa Climate Summit, many people were asking, okay, we've had some amazing conferences. People have come in aeroplanes from all over the world. But is there an elaborate strategy? Are there elaborate actions that are going to be done, yeah, to ensure that there's sustainability? So I'm really glad to be here today. And so I cannot leave this stage without telling you a little bit about our sustainability strategy. It is called Society 2030. You see, even our strategy has a name, Society 2030, yeah? Society 2030 is our action plan to a more sustainable world. And how do we plan to do this? In 3 ways. The first way is positive drinking. Namsicheke, drinking must be done responsibly, and that's why I even told you in the beginning of this session that it is important that you, as an adult who drinks, must know how you are going to get home. Yeah? Yeah, it is true. The second one is inclusion and diversity, and that is why we are here today. And I must mention a few ways that we have promoted inclusion in our business. First and foremost, we have a CEO named Jane Karuku, who is a woman. Second thing is that we have a few policies that we have introduced into our organization. Can you imagine working for an organization that has 26 weeks maternity leave? Yeah? You find out how many months those are. An organization that supports pregnancy loss. An organization that supports menopause. We have a menopause policy. Come talk to me about it, I'll tell you about it. Yeah? An organization that supports 50-50. Yeah? So we are so glad to be in an environment, in a place here today where that supports our ecosystem, yeah? Our value chain. You know, we have a very robust value chain with over 200 small and medium-sized enterprises, Ponty Pridd being one of them. And so we are so glad to be here and so glad to see that our agendas are aligned. So thank you very much and enjoy the rest of your time here.
Asante sana. You said Marianne Nderu. Round of applause once again. Don't do half a clap. We'll do a proper clap. Thank you very much. And now it is my privilege and pleasure to invite none other than, in fact, let me get this right because I don't want to get it wrong. She is the General Manager, Trade, Logistics and Transport. None other at NCBA, none other than Caroline Arena. Karibu sana, karibu sana.
We are very, very passionate about transport and logistics at NCBA. As you know, we are the leading business in asset finance in the region. My name is Caroline Arena, and as he said, I'm the General Manager, Trade, Transport and Logistics. So I'll begin by telling you a short story. When I was requested to just speak a little bit about logistics and transport, I just said, wow. As I was growing up as a child in the 70s and 80s, we rarely used to see women even driving a car or even owning a car. But over the years, there has been transformation. There are women as makangas, there are women as in the logistics sector, there are women, I've seen so many women. So I'm here to just witness this launch, and I want to agree with the MC that I will be saying one day when she delivers grows that I was there when this thing was being born. So fast forward, when I finished college, I joined banking, and traditionally I'm in credit risk management. So I was told, you're going to head this sector, logistics, transport. I was like, no. This is supposed to be for a man. And my line manager, who was a man at that time, was telling me, Carol, anything a man can do, a woman can do. So I was like, okay, let me do it. And I want to thank the men in this launch, yeah, for just being very supportive of the women, Anthony Wainaina, I believe you're really passionate about this She Delivers, and we are sure that it will grow to what you want it to be. So just when we're thinking about it at NCBA and looking at what is the contribution of this sector, transport and logistics, within the economy of Kenya, I believe it should be around 8.5%. That is significant. If you look at the GDP of, is it 3.7 trillion, comes to about 300 billion. And if we support the women in the sector and ensure that we work with even the administration to just streamline everything, and create public infrastructure, yeah, which is obviously we are willing to support, working with the government to support and see what we can do in that line. I believe the sector will even grow to maybe 20% of the GDP. And when this sector grows, of course, the country's GDP will grow. So just to tell you a little bit about what we are doing at NCBA for this sector. Our group managing director, who is Mr. John Gashora, believes and is committed to supporting gender parity according to the United Nations policy. At NCBA, we have over 51% of staff being women. And it is not by any mistake that even the relationship manager and head of trade, transport, and logistics is a woman. Monica Ritho is the relationship manager for Ponty Pridd, and we are very glad that she has a very strong relationship with Ponty Pridd. So, yeah, please clap for her. Thank you very much. So, as the leading asset finance bank in the region, and as our CEO has told us, we are here to support the women businesses, and we're looking for that tripartite agreement with Ponty Pridd, with the automotive players, the dealers, to support the women who are willing to be entrepreneurs and start businesses. So we are looking to continue that conversation and see where we can take it. So our call to action, and at our personal level, we want to create a level playing field for all the women who approach the bank for loans. So we won't look at it like, this one is a woman, will she really manage? So with this initiative, we know and we believe that the women will be treated as equal or even better than the men. So in closing, I just want to reaffirm our unwavering commitment to she belongs, she moves, and she delivers. Thank you, and thank you very, very much. Asanteni.
Now we're going to go into the panel, and we have some panel. I would like to invite our managing director once again. You'll be the first one on the panel, but I know you want to say something before that, so thank you.
As I said before, that sometimes my brain does not carry so much data, so I forgot something very important, and if I did not come back here, I don't know how my Monday and tomorrow will look like. So first of all, I want to appreciate all the Ponty Pridd staff who are always motivated, committed, and really going out of their way to make Ponty Pridd what it is. I don't think there's enough money you can pay them to give you that. So all the Ponty Pridd staff, I would really want to thank you very much. Secondly, I would want to recognize all our women in logistics in Ponty, both as our employees and also as our business partners. Again, we want to thank you very much for really being in the forefront in driving this forward. And lastly, but very, very important, the people who pay our salaries, and there are many. First of all, and this is a story I should have given, it was part of my speech, I should have given when I was talking, that our first truck, which Ponty ever owned, I got the asset finance from NIC then, now NCBA, and it's been quite a journey, to be honest, to really have them as our bankers up to now. Thank you very much. We also really want to appreciate our business partners, EABL, trusting in a local company to deliver big for you. And we have always worked very hard to ensure that we do not break that trust and we deliver wholesomely. Unilever, Nestle, and I'm sure you are all represented here. Cosmos, KNTC, I think the MD was supposed to be here, but he's on his way. And all the NACONEC, and there are many. And for you to trust us with your brands and saying, we believe that Ponty is best suited and they will deliver it in full and in time. And I think the reason why we have almost 500 plus trucks on the road is because of the trust that our partners have shown on us. So I think that's what I'd forgotten. I wanted to thank other people, but them, they come and take my money. Vivo Energy, Total Energy, you know, those ones, they just take my money. But their services is always great. I think they keep us moving, ensuring that we have energy to drive our trucks on the road. And the reason why I'm also thanking them very much, all of the people I've mentioned, is also taking your time to come in and be with us this afternoon. We don't take that for granted. We know you, some of you are very highly paid, and just this afternoon is a lot of money for you to sit here. So I can see Kering shaking his head. He knows. So thank you very much for being here. Asanteni sana na Mungu awabariki.
Karibuni sana. Thank you for taking the time to be a part of this very special day. As we're saying, it's monumental. We may not see how big it is now, but the vision that Ponty Pridd has, the vision that has been read to us and talked to us by Wainaina is very, very big, very clear. And I think I'm very excited that we can be able to have this panel. But even as I do that, I need to say something before I move ahead. I just want to recognize, ladies and gentlemen, that our chief guest is here with us, none other than the Permanent Secretary in Gender Permanent Secretary, Gender and Affirmative Action, and her name is none other than Miss Veronica Nduva. Thank you very much, Madam, for being here and taking the time to be here. I know you were called in for an emergency meeting, but you've wrestled your way out and managed to get here. So one more round of applause for her, and she's going to be making the keynote address. Thank you very much. Now, Grace, do I go ahead or do I get somebody else to replace? Because I don't know whether, maybe you can find her. Thank you. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we all are on the roads at some point or other, and we have with us the commandant of traffic in the entire country. Madam Omari, first of all, I wanted to let you know that you are very close. Your position and your role is very close to my heart because my father was commandant of traffic in Nairobi in 1971-72. Where were you? Yes, a long time ago. And I remember him teaching us the rules of traffic and how to be good law-abiding drivers on the roads, be good citizens on the roads. And I remember him very clearly saying that when the first lot of ladies came out of Kiganjo, because President Kenyatta instructed that we must have female police as well. So the very first group that came out, none of the other departments wanted them. So he was in traffic. He said, bring them to traffic. And so he's at a very close, you have a very close place in my heart. Yeah, so I'm very excited. So Madam Omari, tell us about how do you perceive the role of women in the area of ensuring road safety? You told me earlier that women are safer drivers, and it's a proven fact. How do you see what we're doing now with She Delivers, bringing more women into this space? How do you see that helping the safety and security on the roads in Kenya?
Thank you very much. Okay, my name is Mary Omari. I'm the Commandant Traffic. I believe women have a key role to play in road safety and traffic management. One thing is that women can play a great role in road safety as road safety ambassadors. Women go to church, isn't it? Mm. And they go to chamas, even in their own homes. Even like me, I'm a woman, and although I'm a commandant, when I go to funerals or weddings, I always caution people, yeah? Don't drink and drive. I always tell them, remember, your road safety starts with you. I don't hesitate to remind people about their safety on their roads. So I believe women can play a key role in road safety when they go to churches, when they go for chamas, in their own homes, as they interact with each other, they can talk about road safety. And again, women are more cautious on the roads. And when you are looking for a car, you want to buy a car, and when they advertise and say, lady owned.
Lady owned, yes, yes.
Everybody wants to buy that car. Why? Because you know that car is well taken care of. The custodian of all statistics on road traffic crashes, and I can tell you for sure, we have very few accidents involving women, where women are involved. Only when they are knocked down by careless drivers.
Male drivers.
Male drivers. Yeah, they lose their lives on the roads as pedestrians. But where they are drivers, very rare cases. Why? Because women have empathy. They are mothers. They are wives. You know? They are, you know, like even me when I'm on the road driving, I always take care because I have children. I have a spouse. I wonder now if I do this, if I lose my life on the road, what will happen to my spouse? What will happen to my children?
But let me ask you a question. I want to challenge slightly. But even the men are fathers, they've got children, they've got a spouse in the house. Is it that they do not think about that more than as much as women?
Yes, exactly. Men are like, when it comes to overspeeding, men, I think they are thrilled by speed. They want to drive excessively. They go to drink and drive. You find a lady, if you want to go out, you will go out and call for an Uber. You don't want to drink and drive. You have to take care of your family. So we are more careful. And I believe all ladies here will agree with me, even the gentlemen.
Yeah,
And so I want to tell you that it's only the men who harass us on the road.
Is that why the police ladies are very curly on men? They're very curly. See, they're more curly.
Yeah, we are curly, yes.
You're more curly on the men than on the women, eh?
Yeah, because we know they break the law with impunity. And for us, for ladies, I believe they observe the traffic laws more than men, especially when it comes to drunk driving and speeding, careless overtaking, and all other traffic laws. Women are more cautious. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Bwana Makobe, you take care of the drivers when they're on the road. And one of the things that we know is a fact, is that security for a lady driver, truck driver, is really, it's precarious. Eh? And then, of course, are there places that they can freshen up? Are there places that they can take a safe stop? What do you think this now needs to be able to move it forward to the next level as well?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
First of all, I want to say that I'm excited to sit here in this forum. And I want to share two stories that are rightly linked to empowered ladies. We all remember during the COVID 2020, everything stopped. I don't know if we remember this.
Yes.
But I also want to remind us proudly that the thing that never stopped then was truck driving, because truck empowers trade. Yes. Now, you'll also remember at that particular moment, there were queues to Malaba that got into Bungoma, about 153 kilometers or so. Now, for men drivers, it was so easy. And I'm happy I'm talking to big brothers like Vivo, like EABL, and what have you. I remember at one time, I told myself to go out there and serve the driver that serves me. And one of the things that I did, I bought loaves of bread, I bought milk, and I was giving to drivers that work for the companies that we support. But guys, listen to this. At one time, my driver was stopped by one lady driver. And the one lady driver had one request. And the request she had is that she had been in the queue for about 18 hours. But like men who can always be able to, go air for a short call and what have you, for a lady it was not possible.
Yeah.
I turned my car, put the lady in, and drove her to Bungoma town. Got her food and all those kind of things and what have you. I am passionate about this story, and I'm happy I'm talking to government is seated here. Very, very passionate. I was so happy 2 weeks ago when I saw that now the government is going out there to empower roadside stations. my only prayer is one, and now that my brother Anthony is here, would be able to support us. I got this idea from South Africa many years ago, and I came up and set up roadside stations in Kenya. We now have 15 roadside stations serving the 15,000 truck drivers. Now, the challenge that there is today for a lady truck driver is a place to be able to freshen themselves. We try in a small way to be able to manage, but we can't be able to do it. The other story I have is that looking at the statistics of law safety violations, particularly so this month, is that we have 36 drunk drivers because we have an SOP at the checkpoints. One is a fit driver, two is a roadworthy vehicle, and then the other is wellness. We have the services of a clinical officer and a nurse to be able just to check the wellness of the drivers. We've had 36 drunk case drivers this month, wow, but none of them is a lady driver. Can we clap for them? So in conclusion, I want to say that yes, and I want to confirm what the commandant has said. Even now, I've just come from a root cause analysis where a driver died. Oh. But the cases that we will always be doing root cause analysis are men cases. I don't want to say anything bad about men, but I also know that we were privileged 2011 to go to Ghana, visit the best transporter in the country. And the best transporter in the country is a lady transporter. Wow. And out of the 600 trucks, she has 80% women driver. And for 6 years, they had 0 incidents. Wow. So men, we need to be very careful because I see that's where we are headed to. Thank you.
My goodness me, that statistic is incredible. You said how many percent?
80%.
80%.
Out of 600 lady drivers.
Can you imagine that? 80% no accidents for 6 years.
Yes.
That is absolutely incredible. That is, Madam, you're right. You're absolutely right. Now tell us, Irene, the number of transporters that we have that are ladies, do we have a big number? Are we seeing more ladies coming into this field? And with something like She Delivers help us to move a lot more ladies into this field?
Thank you. My name is Masi Ireri. Not Irene.
Not Irene. I've called you Irene. I know someone from Irene Ireri. She used to work at EABL.
Yeah, but it's okay. We have about 5% population of women in the transport sector. So we are, let's say, just small boardroom meetings, probably 20 people or so, and probably I'm the only lady. It's quite a familiar arrangement. However, what you quickly realize is that there's an appreciation of women in the transport sector. The culture that has been there for years is quickly, let me say quickly dying. Because just to mention, our chairman, who owns about a fleet of 100 trucks, he started the initiative of also employing women when we started talking about why are we not having women truck drivers and all that. And as a secretariat, as KT, as an association, in the year 2020 during COVID, we actually mapped out a few ladies who were active during that time. There were about 43. So currently, with the uptake of more women, an example of She Delivers, we do expect a very, very big number of ladies coming into the industry. And that is quite exciting, actually.
It's exciting, yes.
It is.
It must be. What would you say would hinder? Why do we have such a small number? Is it because, as Bana Makobe said, there's not enough support on the roads, they don't feel safe? What would you say would hinder a lady from getting into transport?
There's the aspect of culture.
Culture. Right?
That's the number one, in my opinion, which is also quickly dying, thanks to the change in the world today.
And information as well, yeah.
Yes, and information. But think about it this way. You've employed women, you go to other transit countries, and probably you go to Congo or South Sudan. as an employer, you would not feel safe. You will not even feel, you would not desire to send your lady drivers to such countries. Number one, in South Sudan, you're actually not sure if your drivers, male or female, will come back. The security is quite volatile, in as much as we appreciate there's an improvement. Now go to Congo. You know, Congo has no roads for the better part of places that our members go. So how do you even expect a woman, you know, there's a truck of one of our members. Just this week on Monday, I received a photo, like a truck is almost half submerged in the water.
Oh my.
So imagine exposing a woman in such. So there are some natural things that probably are out of our control, even as employers, that would hinder, you know, exposing women to some environments, in as much as they are capable and they are willing. But there are circumstances that just do not allow.
Okay. So, Anthony, as a trucker, in terms of transporter, would you send a lady to Congo?
I must get the work first. So anybody with work can give me, and then we can see. I think when we say we want more women in logistics, I think also there has to be kind of caution and common sense, so that let us start with the low-hanging fruits first,
yes.
than trying to prove a point. So we feel that there are low-hanging fruits where they can deliver effectively, and with time it will get there, because the countries will get safer. Our women will understand the risk of being on the road and take the preventive measures, and it will get there. But I think where we are, 5% of the workforce in the logistics space is women, 5%. So there are other low-hanging fruits which we need to start with, instead of starting with the most difficult.
Yeah, you have partners who are ladies who own trucks. What has been your experience working with those ladies? Am I setting you up?
No. I think also we have. So I think it's encouraging to see that we have women who have invested in the industry. Of course, the challenge, and we work with them closely, is that of course there is a notion that if you are a lady, you don't understand transport. So the first time they hire a driver, the first thing the driver does is try to really play games. And I think we have been there to try and support them. I think also in terms of their honesty and their commitment to work is on another level. They want to succeed. And we feel as a business partner, it's our responsibility to work with them very closely and give them an opportunity really to succeed, because that's what we can do.
Absolutely, great. So, Madam Omari, the way I'm hearing people talking now is that She Delivers is going to increase the percentage of women on the roads. So if you look into the future and you say, okay, so we're going to move from 5%, maybe in 2 years we'll be at, maybe 3 years, we'll be at 10%, then we move it that way. What would you think would be the end result of that kind of an increase of women?
I think we are going to have fewer accidents. And I must also say that we are going to support women.
Oh,
and
great.
we always do support women drivers.
That deserves a clap, guys.
Yes, and in order to achieve this, I would ask for, like the CEO, we partner with them. We can train them on traffic laws and regulations. We can also have mentorship programs. We can have that system where we share information so that we are able to guide them, and also create a support system. So we are looking forward to having more lady drivers on our roads, and through that we are going to decrease the number of accidents.
That's a very good point. Tony, that is what shall I say? a very big saving grace for us. I think it's a paradigm shift you have created here, because Mercy has very clearly said the culture of Kenya it's not that way. You're not getting the women onto the road. You're changing our culture. Now, you've interacted with the interns already. How do you see them as they go through the curriculum? What have been the interesting things that you've seen and the responses that you've seen from the interns?
Okay, thank you. First of all, is to come and say that in Ponty we are appreciating a lot of women in this space, and then if you look at the screens,
yes,
to tell you that there are quite a number of women who are already in this space. And by us starting this internship kind of program is to really accelerate that so that we can achieve bigger numbers quickly. They go through a rigorous interview process to join the internship program. So it's not that, so just because we have a partnership with NYS and Kenyatta University, they give us their best, then it is a slot for only 30 people. So they have to go through a quick internship program. And what we are seeing is people who are really tuned on, yeah? People who really were looking for an opportunity to succeed. And you are looking at a lot of ideas coming out of that. As I said before, the more you include people, the more you are diverse, then the more innovative, the more productive you become. Because I can tell you, they will come and challenge how we do things, because they are looking from a very different angle. They will also, in a way, kind of balance what we call, you know, when you have men in one room, if you put one woman, you find that there's something happens. You know, people kind of mellow a bit. Yeah. So then having that injection of this, and then we feel that it will balance some of the things that happen on a highly male-dominated field. But we are very excited to have them. We think they will create a big impact, and we think they are at the right place at the right time. And as I said, we'll say that when they are very successful, we were there.
Now, is it going to just benefit Ponty Pridd? Is this she delivers just for Ponty Pridd?
I really would have wanted that, but we're not a very selfish company. So as I said before, we want to really, because it's a 3-year program we want to run first. So every 6 months we are getting 30 people, then so about 60 or 70. So at the end of the internship, Ponty will only hire 10%. The rest, because they will be qualified, they will have a certificate, we will be able to really recommend them anywhere else, 60 or 70. So at the end of the internship, Ponty will only hire 10%. The rest, because they will be qualified, they will have a certificate, we will be able to really recommend them anywhere else. We'll put them up in the market. So that the other lazy transporters can quickly pick what we have produced.
I like that. Mercy, what advice would you give transporters? I mean, you've seen the challenges. You talked about the culture change. So Ponty Pridd has already created a culture change in their own marketing. What about other transport? What advice do you give them?
The beauty with taking action or a movement, it speaks for itself. So say no more.
Less is more, eh? Less is more.
Yes.
Bwana Makobe, any advice you think, anything that you'd like to add as we wind up?
I think for me, like I said, I'm excited. If you look at the, issues that Mercy mentioned, they are key issues, yes. But with the government now coming up with the roadside stations, they're going to make sure that there will be enough adequate places for women drivers.
Oh,
so most of that will be solved. And also just to add, a small organization, but we have 270 staff. Out of them, 90 are young graduate ladies who plan for drivers' journeys. And they have never gone wrong one day. Thank you.
Fantastic, fantastic. Your closing remarks, Madam Amari, any closing remarks?
Thank you. I would like to say that women drivers play, and not only drivers, but also we have investors and others. They play a key role in our economy because we have them as bread earners for their families, their employers, and they are also ambassadors of road safety. So this is a good initiative. We are going to support. We are going to support Mr. Wainaina, and we are ready anytime where you want our input. We have our officers who are well trained in road safety matters. We are available, and I want to urge all of us to support our lady drivers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Wainaina, I think you've been given a lot of support from the Commandant of Traffic.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. We'll be coming to collect. Yeah. But I think I also want to mention that we are, of course, we are talking about women drivers or lady drivers, but the program is looking at a holistic involvement in women in logistics. So there is drivers, we are looking at mechanics, we are looking at IT, so because logistics and technology have to, transport and technology is related. We are looking at people who have gone to school and studied supply chain and logistics. We are looking at business students. So it's coming and saying, how do they, can we allow the women also to take their rightful place in this industry? And I think that's just a fair ask. If I must say that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, when you're seated there, is there a burning question that has come up or something that you'd like to say that I think can be recorded right now? I'd like to ask maybe 2 or 3 maximum. Any hands, anybody would be interested to talk about? We've talked about the culture change. We've talked about what this portends in terms of creating ladies to benefit from this industry. We've talked about support from the traffic police. We've talked about in different centers from government in terms of having centers along the roads so that more people can, so that the truck drivers can refresh and be ready, be alert, do a good job. Anything that strikes you? Bonam Africa. I think I'll bring the microphone myself. Mheshimiwa, this is the microphone.
Thank you, the moderator. My name is Commander Mwafrika. I'm the area member for Parliament of Roysambu constituency. Thank you, the MD Ponty Pridd, because you have a very good plan for Roysambu constituency. I understand that you are going to open a school here to train on this subject. Maybe my question is, do you have some specific areas you are going to train on? Because bearing in mind, like Madam Commandant has said, we have training of drivers, we have the management in this industry. So I'm asking if you have specific areas which you are going to train in this area of logistic and transport logistic industry.
Thank you. Thank you for your question.
Okay, very well. Maybe I haven't spoken about this enough. We have developed a very well thought of curriculum in the 6 months where they will pass. And I would like to ask, just give that microphone to there is a project director heading this initiative. She can actually define the various modules which the interns will go through.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Very nice to have you here this evening. Just to touch on the subject question right now, we have brought in interns who are drivers, those in business management, those in supply chain, and those who are mechanics and tech. So the subjects that will be covered are a cross-section of those main career areas. We have automotive management, we have safety, we have even a holistic look at personal branding, communication. So the interns will be able to leave our curriculum, our program, when they are holistic people. They have been taught how to be safe. They've been taught how to communicate. They've been taught how to be a better person out there. And that's basically the brand that we want to bring into the transport and logistics sector. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the great answer. I'll take one more, just one last one, so that we can save time.
Hello, my name is Rasoa from Unilever. I would like to ask, maybe this is to Mr. Wainaina. I see a lot of strong women transport owners, the owners of the companies in the market, but unfortunately we realize that they don't come up front to get business with like multinationals and the likes. Most of them would end up, the farthest they can go, and maybe this alludes to what Mercy was saying, it's a culture issue. Most of them will go, the farthest they can go is be subcons. Yeah? So
what?
Subcontractors.
Oh, subcontractors, okay.
So they will be subcontracted by the big players like DHL and the likes. What are we doing as an industry to encourage these women to actually go out and pitch for business for their empowerment?
Good question.
Okay. That's a good question, but also maybe I would kind of spin the question a bit to Unilever. You are the people who give business. So in your business, what are you doing to really give business to women-owned companies so that they can also succeed? I know, and I will say this without fear of contradiction, that in the Diageo business, there is a move to come and say women-owned businesses get priority. And I think it's a beautiful thing to do.
I'm surprised the ladies haven't come.
And I think also, as much as the Diageos of this world and Unilever maybe is also not Johnny and Nestle and everybody else, it's also, as I said, we have to also kind of, them being subcons is not a bad thing because that's becoming a learning curve, but then they have to really kind of go to somewhere. And I think the challenge, you've asked me a good question, but I'm saying the challenge is that the people who sign contracts are seated in this room, most of them, and you have a big pen in your office, I know, and you sign a few contracts. Can you, in the next contract, make sure that there is one woman driver that we get a contract? And if you want, I can give you one or two who are really have come through the process, and you can give them a direct contract.
Wow. That is called affirmative action. Well done. Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to please appreciate these really great people, the good work that they've done. Thank you, Madam Omari, for the love as a mother. You know, I feel like now I'm safe on the road. There's a mother who's taking care of us on the road. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Thank you very much, Mr. Makobe, and thank you, Mercy. Please stand in front there together, and I have a photo opportunity with your master of ceremonies. Yeah. Take again. Uh-huh. This is a nice time for the DJ to play. Woman! 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 She delivers. Excellent. Round of applause once again. So now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege and pleasure to invite onto the stage the Senior Deputy Secretary. We actually have an apology from our PS, Transport, who was supposed to be here, but I think he's stuck in that meeting that you got yourself out of. So please, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome with me Mr. Ibrahim Abdi. Karibu sir. He will be giving the keynote the address that his PS was supposed to give, I believe.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Akina mama, oye. Oye. Mupo. Mupo imara. Muko sawa. Thank you very much. As mentioned, my name is Ibrahim Abdi. I'm a Senior Deputy Secretary for Ministry of Transport. Apologies from my peers who were supposed to be here, but because of other official duties, he could not be here, but in spirit is here. But I have his speech, and I'll read his speech, and he will share the day with you. Madam Veronica Nduva, Principal for Gender and Affirmative Action, Ms. Stella Mbudia, Director, Ponty Pridd Limited, Mr. Wainaina, the CEO, distinguished guests, all protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It gives me great pleasure to be with you here today for the launch of She Delivers, a woman empowerment initiative that holds the promise of transforming our nation's transport logistic industry. It is indeed an honor to be here as we take these significant steps towards achieving a more inclusive, equitable future for women in transport and logistics sector. Your presence today manifests your commitment to increase women's participation in the transportation sector. I wish to express my gratitude to Ponty Pridd for spearheading this endeavor, which is designed to onboard women into the transport and logistics industry by addressing the entry barriers and shattering the stereotypes that dominate this space and hinder potentials to excel. If successfully implemented, ladies and gentlemen, we believe it will attract more female talent into the industry and ultimately create a space for them to thrive under a banner of diversity, equity, and inclusion. The stark reality that has persisted for so long is the fact that the transport and logistics sector has not only been male-dominated, but also male-oriented, thereby denying the female gender an opportunity to excel, therefore contribute meaningfully to the growth of this sector. Even as we acknowledge that the transport sector, a vital artery of our economy, has experienced gender imbalance, we embrace and appreciate the initiative like She Delivers and other such endeavors to help us overcome it. Ladies and gentlemen, through Kenya's Constitution 2010, the government has unequivocally advocated for inclusion of women in all spheres of life, as explicit in the 2/3 gender rule. Moreover, on the global stage, the United Nations Global Compact, UNGC, urges corporate entities to establish high-level leadership committed to gender equity. The She Delivers initiative embodies these principles, aligning perfectly with the national and international goals. The transport sector stands to benefit tremendously from the deliberate action to enhance gender diversity. Diversity brings with it a multitude of perspective, innovation, and a more resilient workforce. It fosters an environment where challenges are met with a broader range of solutions, where opportunities are seized with greater creativity. The inclusion of women in logistics is not just a matter of fairness, it is a pathway to the industry's growth and vitality. The government greatly supports any idea that contributes to the empowerment of our women. This was echoed by our Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, when he hosted a forum for women in construction industry on 14th August 2023. The objective of the forum was aimed at empowering and promoting women in construction sector. He commended the valuable contribution of women in the growth of construction industry, saying that they have infused their expertise, experience, and technical knowledge into various disciplines. Today, I would like to highlight a remarkable collaboration that I have been made aware of between Ponty Pridd, Kenyatta University, and the National Youth Service, NYS. This collaboration seeks to empower women professionals in transport and logistics space by facilitating many talented women, graduates from Kenyatta University and NYS who have in the past been denied the opportunity to practice what they have trained in due to gender bias. Through the Through this partnership, female graduates will now undergo a 6-month paid internship, preparing them for the market. This initiative is a significant stride towards building a pool of highly skilled professionals and female drives with valuable corporate experience in the transport and the logistics space. To the soon-to-be interns, cherish and take full advantage of this opportunity to be trained and established in a solid foundation, strong enough to inspire and support the weight and aspiration of future generations. Your success during and after this program will be your way to paying it forward and opening doors for many others who intend to walk the same path. Ladies and gentlemen, indeed, our government promotes the provision of internship opportunities for youth, and we continue to encourage private sector to join hands in this endeavor. PontyPridd has taken unavoidable steps in this direction by initiating a partnership for the She Delivers program, and for this, we commend them. Ladies and gentlemen, challenges remain even as we applaud initiatives like She Delivers. I encourage us to work together with resolving the challenges that persist in this sector. As we speak, a team from Ministry of Roads and Transport is on the ground sensitizing road transport stakeholders on regulation for the roadside stations. That will guide development of roadside stations, which will cater for challenge of inefficient rest stop facilities along our transport corridors. Safety along our transport corridors is another crucial issue that deserves our attention. The good news is that our government is actively addressing road safety issues and continue to do so relentlessly through annual performance contract process, i.e. road safety mainstreaming in all MDAs. We are committed to make our transport corridors safer for all, and our efforts in this regard are ongoing. Ladies and gentlemen, even with these challenges and opportunities, I call upon all stakeholders, government bodies, private enterprises, civil societies, and individuals to collaborate and support the initiative like She Delivers. Together we can break down the barriers that have hindered women's progress in the transport sector and create a brighter and more inclusive future for all. As I conclude, I wish to congratulate PontyPridd for this vision and dedication in pioneering this groundbreaking initiative. She Delivers is just a program. She Delivers is not just a program. It is a testament to what we can achieve when we work together to empower women and drive change. Let us march forward with this resolve, knowing that the success of She Delivers will not only transform the transport and the logistic industry, but also inspire future generations of women to pursue their dreams without limitations. It is my prayer that She Delivers program flourishes and thrives in the days and years to come. That is the speech from my peers, and I can say that we have earlier partnered with PontyPridd during the time of the TRIM planning program in Kajiado. So we are a strategic partner, and we are ready to work. We are ready to support the She Delivers initiative. Thank you very much. At this juncture, therefore, may I take this opportunity to welcome our chief guest, our able PS, Madam Veronica Anduva, Principal Secretary for Gender and Affirmative Action. Please clap for her. Madam Karibu. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Senior Director, Senior Secretary. Thank you so much for those remarks. The Honorable Mwafrika MP for Roysambu, Mr. I have a lot of things I'm referring to here. The Managing Director, Ponty Pridd, Anthony Wainaina. Director, Ponty Pridd, Stella Mputhia. Captains of Industry represented here. Representative of the EABL, Corporate Affairs Director, Ms. Caroline Arena, the GM Trade, Logistics, Transport at NCBA Bank. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Good evening once more. Naomba tuzungumze pamoja, mnijibu, ndo tuendelee tumalize, si ndio? So good evening. Thank you, that's much better. I'm really honored to join you this afternoon, and I appreciate the leadership of Ponty Pridd for reaching out. I also wish to recognize the remarks by the representative of my colleague, because you will soon discover that we have a whole of government approach. Allow me to give apologies. I'm hoping maybe my colleagues will join in, but we were expecting my colleague in the ministry, Mr. Amos Gadesha, who is a PS for Public Service, also the PS for Wildlife, Madam Sylvia, and PS Transport, Taga. But we were all holed up in a meeting that I had to excuse and explain myself about 5 times from my boss, and said, I promised to be chief guest about 3 months ago. So I'm really happy I could make it, but please receive the apologies. It's just in the course of duty, these things come up. Allow me to also, before I go to my speech, to reflect on a couple of things. One is what I had Madam, is it Omari, reflect on. And I see, they always say boys in blue, but I can see girls in blue here. And one thing I've wondered over the years is, and which could explain what you're talking about, is every time you see a car with an L plate, who is in that car? It's a woman. Why do men not put L plates, L stickers on their cars? They don't, isn't it? They are afraid, you know, they are afraid to admit that they are actually learning. To them, it's a crime not to know. It's a crime to be seen learning. So there lies your answer, because women, I had my L sticker on for so long until I was told by my dad, when are you going to remove that sticker? But as a result, after several years of driving, I've not had a single accident. So maybe men should consider that. Try and just keep your L sticker on. Make mistakes, people will be patient with you, and then you learn. I've always wondered. So I think that is your answer. The other thing I want to reflect on are the stereotypes. I was whispering to Ms. Muthia here that your MC is those people when they are driving, they see a slow car, they say it's a woman. Mama, ako na hiyo gari. It sounded. You agree? Perfect. And you know, I think I'm an example of the opposite of that stereotype. One thing you might want to know, looking at me, if I was to ask you, what do you think my personal car of choice is? Yes. One guess. One guess. A BMW. See, he stereotyped me as a soft, comfort-seeking woman. But I'll tell you, I actually drive a pickup truck. Yes. I have witnesses. A big pickup truck, a Ranger. So I get those stereotypes. I'm not saying this because I want to tell you what I care, but it's the stereotypes. When you're driving and your car is tinted and you arrive somewhere and you roll down the window and you jump out, you can just see people are like, who is this? So women have moved on. And when we see women, they can do anything. Gender equality, gender mainstreaming is actually making women catch up. I was asking Stella, and she did not know why I asked her this. What do you use to secure your cargo in your logistics lorries? And she told me seals. So what I'd like to share, my relationship with the logistics and transport industry started a long time. My first job, right after university, my very, very first job, even before I graduated, was to sell seals. Seals. And I would go with very many to the big companies and convince them that you need these seals to secure your trucks. And I remember the person I worked for, she actually bought my graduation suit. And then I quit selling seals after that. So those were my preliminary remarks, just by way of interacting with what we've been hearing here. And it has really been a great pleasure. So I am honored to join you all today for the opportunity to address you during the launch of She Delivers initiative by PontyPridd Holdings Limited. She Delivers is a subject that holds great significance for my State Department of Gender and Affirmative Action, as it aims at highlighting and improving the role of women and girls in society, and in this case, the transport and logistics sector in Kenya. This event aligns with Kenya's government's aim of promoting the economic empowerment of women as outlined in the Kenya Kwanza Government Women's Charter. It also aligns with the 9-point priorities for the government for women, the first of which is women economic empowerment. I therefore wish to commend the management of PontyPridd and all the staff for putting it together. The logistics industry has traditionally been regarded as no place for a woman. This is true by the data available on various studies that show women are massively underrepresented in the industry, despite the high number in the Kenyan population and labor market. While women are as capable as men of working in the logistics sector, most are not attracted to it, often because of the stereotypical view that the sector is masculine, better suited for strong males who can operate heavy machinery, drive huge trucks, and stay away from home for extended periods. I wish to pause on that and mention that one of the ways we are addressing this is the government is in the process of reviewing and updating a women economic empowerment policy and addressing issues such as domestic and care work, which address issues around time use policy. I was having a discussion again with the director of HR, so you can see we were talking serious things. I was having a conversation with the director and I was asking her, what are the impediments of women in this sector? Is it that you don't hire them? Is it that they don't apply? Or what is it? And she mentioned that in most cases, the women shy away. So this is a great initiative. And she highlighted to me all the measures that PontyPridd has taken to ensure that we cater. It is not a crime to want to be a driver, but to still execute your nurturing responsibilities. It is not a crime to want to be a driver or a mechanic and still have time away for other responsibilities. So the issue with gender equality, creating equal and equitable environment, it's about creating a conducive environment so that both women and men can work in any space that they want to, but within the set conducive arena. One example of that is, for instance, marketplaces or corporate companies have created creche for babies so that I can go to work and come with my baby. I can go to work and live with someone with my baby. So it is us to respond to our unique needs, not to push away women because of our unique needs. And while on heavy machinery, I really hoped that my host would have given me a chance to drive a truck, just to move it, just to know how it feels to be behind that big monster. So furthermore, evidence from an industry survey suggests that the logistics sector is synonymous with features and practices that create barriers to encouraging women to join and retaining women already in the industry. These include discrimination, an unsupportive work environment, sexual harassment, cultural and social barriers, all combined with a lack of information about the industry that, if available, might serve to attract female staff. 5 forms of discrimination have been identified, such as pay gap. I did not ask whether men drivers and female drivers are paid the same, because I respect that this is a private sector initiative. And we as government are so proud that we can have the private sector supporting women economic empowerment, supporting closing the gender gap by initiatives such as this. So men are paid more than women for doing the same job, and this has been statistically proven. There is also the metaphorical glass ceiling, an invisible yet present barrier that prevents women from being promoted in favor of men who may be less suited to their position or even less competent. So I'll say this to the women drivers who are here. No, I'll start by complimenting the men drivers so that they don't feel like I'm hitting them. One of the things I would honestly say as a user of Mombasa Road all the way down, male truck drivers are easily the most friendly road users. They'll always pause for you to join the road. They'll always create room. If you're overtaking, they will move their big truck a little bit to the side so that you can come in. They will always use their indicators to show you that, no, it's not safe to overtake. So we appreciate them for that. For the part of the women, when we talk about a glass ceiling, unfortunately, sometimes it is self-imposed, where you feel that you cannot rise up, where you cannot question things. So it is up to us to also, no one gives you anything for free. I appreciate Ponty Pridd for this initiative of bringing in women without being asked to. For us in government, gender mainstreaming is a requirement. It's a performance contract indicator. I want to see how many women have you promoted? How many women have you retained? How many women did you hire against men? How youth, brackets, it's an indicator. But for private sector, it's just responsiveness and alignment to government priorities. And for that, we really acknowledge and applaud you. Thank you. They truly deserve a clap. A seat at the table is the other issue. A lack of consultation with women when the industry negotiates with government and regulatory bodies. Do we have conducive environment for the women drivers? Secondly, an absence of anti-discrimination guidelines in the workplace. Discrimination is a workplace bias that sees women as better suited to low-paid clerical positions. I was therefore pleasantly surprised looking at the various screens, noting that we have women in HR, we have women in mechanic, we have women in the procurement, we have women behind the wheel, we have women all around, and that's really a commendable thing. The Constitution of 2010 recognized gender equality, granting different genders equal protection, benefits, and equal treatment, including the right to equal opportunities in the political, economic, and cultural and social spheres. However, in spite of having the supportive frameworks, women are still unable to make key decisions that impact their lives and communities. It takes self-driven initiatives such as She Delivers to right what has been a continued wrong. What is the government doing to bridge the gap? The government has entrenched gender mainstreaming in all ministries, departments, and agencies to promote engendering all the programs, including but not limited to gender-responsive budgeting, recruitment, developing internal policies to address gender discrimination and harassment. It also endeavors to formulate policies, enact laws, and regulations to promote and integrate gender perspectives in the design, implementation, and monitoring of programs and projects. This is geared towards the realization of political and socio-economic growth for urban and rural women. One other question I asked Stella was, what is the percentage of women in the company? And upon her answer, I asked her further question, what is the percentage of those women in senior leadership position? And what are we doing as government? Just this week, I've been away out of town to deliberate on the implementation of the not more than 2/3 gender that has evaded us from the time we promulgated the Constitution, finding a formula. We have political will, a president who is determined to ensure this happens, and we are really positive that this time round we will get it right. Thank you. That's the benefit of always identifying a fan in the audience. So, thank you, MC. The bottom-up economic transformation agenda, commonly known as BETTER, together with advancing the President's 9-point agenda on women, commits to gender equality and women empowerment. Re-engineering of the Women Enterprise Fund is geared towards making access to affordable credit by MSMEs attainable. If you dial on your phone *254#, you will find the government's financial inclusion platform, which houses the Hustler Fund, the Women Enterprise Fund, and the Hustler Group Loan. What can the industry do to bridge the gap? A recent survey on the logistics sector came up with some recommendations the industry players can come together and do. These include formation of a vibrant Women in Logistics Association, arrange an annual logistics career and training expo to create awareness on career opportunities and demystify the myths, establish annual industry gender awards, initiate a he for she in logistics campaign, and lastly, create a gender equality and women's empowerment campaign. With those few remarks, I want to now declare the She Delivers campaign launched. Thank you so much for your attention.
Allow me, Madam, yes, to ask that you move forward to that area. Mr. MD. It's the director, sorry, the director for HR, Madam Puthia. I'll need you to stand there. And you are now unveiling the actual, and after you unveil, please move to the side because there's a pyrotechnics that will come in after that, immediately after that. So just unveil it first. Cameramen, are you ready? Members of the state, are you ready? Ready? I'll tell you when. 1, 2, 3. Oh. Well, congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Where is my microphone? I wanted to say something here. I would like you to use the microphone and say now loudly that you have now launched the She Delivers.
So the Ponty Pridd Holdings She Delivers program is officially launched, ladies and gentlemen. A round of applause.
Can I have the interns? Interns, please come and stand with the PS. All interns, please come. This is a great day because, as we said, we shall say we were here. We were here. All clap for the interns as they come. These are the guys. We're going to benefit from this wonderful, wonderful program. It is now my privilege and pleasure to invite a lady who is, shall I call her the driving force behind this, shall I call it a great initiative, the She Delivers initiative. She actually decided to go to Stanford and get better equipped for this very big role. She did gender mainstreaming and affirmative balance. Maze, a postgraduate course there, my friends. Ladies and gentlemen, she is a director for HR at Ponty Pridd, and that's why they're always trailblazing. As we said, when there's someone powerful, it is always a woman behind them making sure things happen. And she even went to equip herself. Stanford, no less. See at the upper, okay, UN, please, I know UN, I know I appreciate you, but yeah. You know what I'm saying? So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Madam Stella Mputhia.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, once more. Good evening. Hamjamboni. See, we've hyped up this event so well. We should be stirred up right now, right? Asanteni. As I stand before you this evening, I think the first thing that I must mention or comment is that like a woman who has successfully completed her gestation period with the support of her partner, I'm careful to put it like that, I think we have successfully this evening delivered the She Delivers program. So in our hands, we are holding a bundle of joy. And we are looking down at our bundle of joy, full of dreams, aspirations, and hopes for this child we have just born. But for us to get to the point where we have our dreams and hopes and aspirations, we must nurture the child, care for the child, provide for the child, and ensure we elevate this child to a very great standing of purpose in society, in the marketplace, and in the globe, right? Yeah. So this evening, we have started a transformative journey. If you ask me, we have embarked on a journey which probably we cannot see how far we will go or how far we are going. And I think all of us who have been here and witnessed, we can give a clap to each other. I'm personally convicted as being in the team for She Delivers from the very groundwork, from the seed we planted, that women in logistics and transport, especially in Kenya, especially in this room, all our partners who we work with together, we are on to something. And in years to come, we'll be proud of this evening and what we have supported to bring up. So I'll go to my, I'm here to give a declaration and a commitment because as the people who have talked before me have mentioned, this is not so much of a talk shop, it's not PR. We are really committed and passionate to ensure that the She Delivers materializes, gets the support and the stakeholders and the partnership and goes as far as possible. And as our MD mentioned, we are also giving back the program to our stakeholders. What can we do together and how far can we take our She Delivers program together? So as HR Director and Program Director She Delivers, I stand before you with a resolution declaration, and that resonates with the core values of our organization and our vision for a more equitable future. Diversity in all its forms is not just a slogan, it is a core of innovation, as we've been mentioning the whole evening, resilience and progress. Ponty Pridd recognizes that the power of diversity goes beyond quotas and statistics to rubber stamp affirmative action. We have gone beyond checking boxes, but affirmative action is about harnessing the unique strengths and talents and perspectives that each individual, regardless of gender, brings to the table. So, I mean, in this regard, we are working in stride with our male counterparts. We are not putting them aside. We are saying that we are walking this journey together and celebrating each other along the way. As we mentioned, you've had these over and over in the evening. She Delivers is more than a program. It's a promise, an unyielding commitment, an invitation to attracting, recruiting, training, nurturing, growing, and retaining women in our industry. We have listened to the voices of key stakeholders in transport and logistics, and what we launched today is a bridge, an equitable path that seamlessly integrates women into an industry that has for long been male-dominated. So this is my declaration and the declaration of Ponty Pridd Holdings as it pertains to She Delivers. One, we commit to correct the gender imbalance that has long prevailed in our industry. We understand these barriers, stereotypes, and systematic challenges that have deterred countless talented women from pursuing careers in transport and logistics. And She Delivers is our resounding response to correcting these challenges. Commitment number 2, Ponty Pridd, through She Delivers, commits to invest time, talent, money, equipment, and technology to make She Delivers sustainable, replicable, and successful. Commitment number 3, Ponty Pridd, through She Delivers, commits to share and work with all like-minded stakeholders, as we've invited you this evening. Let us unite under the banner of diversity, equity, and inclusivity. Let us stand together to create opportunities, break down barriers, and redefine the future of transport and logistics. She Delivers is not just a Ponty initiative, it is an industry-wide movement, a beacon of change. This is what we are committing to as Ponty Pridd under the banner of She Delivers. Commitment number 4, Ponty Pridd through She Delivers commits to train over 120 interns over the next 3 years. As you heard our MD mention, the time span is 3 years, so these are the numbers we are looking at. Number 5, Ponty Pridd through She Delivers commits to not only offer practical on-job training, but to also build holistic individuals through a well-structured curriculum, which you've also heard over and over in the evening. Ponty Pridd through She Delivers, our commitment number 6, to continue sharpening and modifying our curriculum to match global trends in the industry. So we do not want to continue with this curriculum through our cohort 1 and feel we cannot revise it, we cannot tweak it. We commit to continue sharpening and modifying it as trends keep changing in the industry. Commitment number 7, Ponty Pridd through She Delivers, is taking the participants through a well-mapped out pathway anchored on 5 pillars: training pillar, the technology pillar, the holistic person pillar, the community pillar, and the voice of the industry pillar. These are some of our precepts for the program. Ponty Pridd stands committed, She Delivers stands committed, the future stands before us, and we shall shape it together. Thank you all, and God bless you.
Now, Madam Director, you have said what you are committing to. We want you to put your pen to paper, and we will ask that you will go with the grace to the position that has been placed in the corner there. I believe you have done it. Yes, thank you, Emily, for sorting that out for us. So she is now going to sign that declaration, and she's committing Ponty Pridd to those 3 years and those different cohorts that are going to come through to be trained in She Delivers. Woman! 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 Okay, one more time. Woman! 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 Amen. Absolutely wonderful. Round of applause even as the director puts her pen to paper. It's been signed. Makofi. Okay, I hold it up actually. Stella, yes, hold it up like that. Thank you. Okay, so just quickly, very quickly. One of the ones that I think, Madam PS, you said, and I thought I'd write to say it because it comes out straight from your speech. It says, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate, but rather that we are powerful beyond what we can handle. So that's what, so we yeah? Isn't that incredible? Oh, you're clapping for that, eh? Oh, you're Because the thing is, you're saying, ladies, take the space, fill this. It is the president who said, I think it was just this last week, he said in the States, he said, you know, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. They're eating you. If you're not, you're the one who's going to be eaten. You need to be at the table. So ladies, take your place. Don't be, I know you know you can do it, you know you can deliver, take that place. And that is exactly what we're doing here at Ponty Pridd. Changing that paradigm shift, making sure that you have that space to take this to the next level. And it's not that men are not going to continue doing what they do. We will continue to work, but we will work with you. We don't want weak men. We want strong women to work with strong men. Ama namna gani? Yes, that's right. Thank you, Mr. Kering. Thank you very much. Drink on me after this. So, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mwaniki Mageria. Please don't call me that MC or that kind. Mwaniki Mageria is the name. I am the son of a police officer. What do I say? So I really love the police, the men and women in blue. Yeah, very, very good job that you do. Sometimes thankless, but you do a really great job. And without you, I don't know what kind of society we would have. Thank you so much, each and every one of you. Thank you, Madam Director, for thanking the people that are involved. I want to talk about the people in the background. Grace, thank you for a great job, well done. Emily and others in the background who've done a very, very good job. We have a feast for you. And courtesy of EABL, I think Mr. Wainaina is paying for it. Courtesy of EABL, we have drinks are going to flow. So please get your Uber number ready, okay? Call home, as I've said, you're not going anywhere. We are throwing a party. There's this nice setup over here. If you want to take photographs to remember this day, we have our official photographers. They will take photographs of you here. But ladies and gentlemen, the evening is open. I would like to ask Grace to please say a closing prayer. And also prayer for food as well, and for people to get home safely. Please do that for us now, because we always remember to thank God for these opportunities. I think the microphone is up here. Yes, there is a microphone.
Good evening, everybody. Moneki was supposed to call me for the opening prayer. He forgot. And now he's asking me to do a closing prayer. The EABL, do we pray for the...
Yes, of course, you must. Anything that is going to the stomach.
I'm asking that because I had prepared. That's why I told you, always be prepared. Because I had prepared for an opening prayer. I was preparing to dedicate this program to God. Because it's only God who enables us to start and we have to end with him. So I will blame it on Mwaneki, that he is ending with God and he forgot to start with the same God. But we are all believers and we believe that God was present either way, isn't it? He was present and he's always a present God. And with that word, I will not pray for the EABL alcohol, but I'll pray for the food and anything that you shall partake. Let's say a word of prayer. Our dear Heavenly God, Lord, we come before you this evening with our hearts full of thanksgiving, saying, indeed, Lord, you are Jehovah God. Saying, Lord, that you are the one that is a living God and there is none like you, mighty Father. This evening, we are delighted and very happy and very excited for your goodness and your mercies that always follow us from the beginning to the end, mighty Father. This evening, we have gathered here. We have been fed and we have seen the birth of She Delivers. We have been enabled to see the thought process and to see the innovation, but we don't take it for granted that it is not only our idea, but you, Lord, planted that idea in the leadership of Ponty Pridd, and we thank you, Lord, and we believe that this is an idea that is taking this organization to the next level, but not only the organization, but the country at large, mighty Father. How we pray, mighty Father, that this project is going to flourish. We pray, mighty Father, that you will be with each and every one of us who has bought the concept of She Delivers and who is determined to take this concept to the next level. As we pray, mighty Father, we are thankful for our chief guest, Madam P.S., for such wisdom that she has poured into this meeting and gathering, mighty Father, for the words, wisdom that she has given us, mighty Father, and for the belief that she has in continuation of the journey of women empowerment, mighty Father. We don't take this for granted. We also want to pray for the leadership of Ponty Pridd, mighty Father, for planting this seed of She Delivers, a seed that will enable us to create a product that will see women in this country not only get empowered, but also support their communities. As we're always told, when you support a woman, you are supporting a community. And this is the belief that Ponty leadership has. I also want to pray for all the partners who are here, who support Ponty, and therefore supporting the dream by extension. I also want to pray for everyone gathered here, mighty Father, that you saw it fit that they may leave all that they were doing to come and witness this great birth, the birth of She Delivers, mighty Father. Therefore, we dedicate this program to you, mighty Lord, and say that it will flourish, it will blossom, and it will be a joy for those of us who will review the beginning and be there 3 years' time to say that we were there when this was being delivered, mighty Father. I want to pray for this evening. I want to pray for everyone present here, mighty Father, that you may bless them, because your word tells us that you are present in our going and in our coming back. As we start this journey, be with us and end with us. With us this evening, we are going to be served some food and things to drink, mighty Father. We pray, mighty Father, that whatever we partake in this event, mighty Father, that you will bless it, mighty Father, and that it will be for the good and glory of our bodies, mighty Father. I pray that even as we partake, we bless it, mighty Father. And also as we plan to leave this evening, as we plan to go back to our homes, mighty Father, may you go ahead of us and cover us with your blood in the journey, mighty Father, as we go to our homes, mighty Father. I pray for each and every one person present here who will be driving or who will be driven. May you cover them, mighty Father, with your blood, mighty Father, that nothing and no power from the darkness will come against them as they drive back home, mighty Jehovah. This is our prayer of faith. Mighty Father, as we leave, be with us and stay with us, because your word tells us that where 2 or 3 are gathered, you are indeed present. We feel your presence, we feel the Holy Spirit, and we pray, mighty Father, for you to go with us. This is a prayer of faith, believing and trusting in the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen. Thank you very much, Grace Kiragori. And just to remind you guys, those of you who know your Bible, what was Jesus' first miracle? He turned what? Yeah. Partake and enjoy yourselves, kabisa. But don't overdrink. The Bible says don't get drunk. Eh? All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Monique Magari. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Food is served.